Right, we are here at the Vincent Delaney Memorial, and people are coming from everywhere. It's great to catch up with Wendy Ross. Well, I should have asked you, from US Trotting, or where are you officially, like your official media platform?
Yes, we have US Trotting. We have 8 platforms that we basically are one of the main, social media platforms and coverage throughout the states. But myself, our US Trotting cameraman Rich Johnson, and our photographer Mark Hall came over. We were sponsored by the Sweet Lou Syndicate and their connections to bring us over here to cover this wonderful event that has really turned out to be something over the last few years for sure.
The passion here is just brilliant, isn't it?
Well, and I think when you think about what they do over here as far as harness racing, it has to be for passion and the love of it, right? In the States, we race for a great amount of money and we have our stakes program and, the juice is worth the squeeze essentially over there. But here, it's basically you do it because you love to do it and you just love harness racing.
I was talking to Grant Cullen just said before, and he's saying about how the prize money here on this, but the reality was when he said to me, we race for $400, $800, and I was like, during the year, and he makes a living out of it. That's a hard grind.
Well, and I think that's one thing we've learned is a lot of these horsemen, they have jobs, right? And then this is kind of their side gig or their hobby, but it really does come down to passion. Because they're here, unfortunately, they're not doing it for the money, that's for sure.
No, but they are very passionate. On a day like today, though, or this weekend, they are doing it for the money. The money is outstanding. We went to a dinner last night. We're fortunate enough, you've been on farm tours. We're running, again, that word passion, but the love of the industry over here. I don't know about yourself, but from an Aussie where a lot of it gets a bit toxic, if you like, from time to time, it's just great to come across here and so many people happy to be at a race meeting.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the reasons, we were going to come last year and we weren't able to, so we said, hey, our organization said, if they want you back again, you guys can go. So we were able to come live this year, so we're really happy. And that is to see that because we want to promote that, to see the love and the passion that they have over here. Harness racing is great. And I said, we want to go over, if we can promote harness racing, is our job to do it in the U.S., but now if we have a chance to come over here and do it internationally is what we wanted to do. And that's why we were so glad to be here, to be able to show that side. We put out a piece of Oakwood Stud. Of course, they've basically, the Delaneys, with this being their event, but the things they've done in breeding, I called them game changers, and that's why we did the piece on them, to be able to highlight the things that they've done for breeding.
They're exceptional. I watched, I saw, I think it was when the Meadowlands first started up this year. They had, I think they said 6 runners, 5 winners, and 4 of those were at the Meadowlands on the opening night. And at one stage, they had the fastest horse over there. Mm-hmm. It's not like it's a hobby over here. They had the first horse to go 149 this year.
Yeah, to see that these horses are being bred and that they're doing that, and now doing the semen transport, for Sweet Lou and some of them. But how cool has foreclosure been for the Delaneys and really, in the Irish racing program to be able to see, because he was a cool racehorse as well, and had his own, has done his own accolades and did his own good things. So to see now he's been able to contribute to this program over here is really special.
You say about Sweet Lou, I'm lucky enough to work for Woodlands, Australia and New Zealand. They, of course, got him as well.
Have you got to meet Lou?
Yeah.
Lou's cool, right? Lou is very cool. We actually did a piece on him about a month ago that came out around Meadowlands Space. We went and we wanted to do some pieces this year on sires, and he was one of the ones we chose. And we chose him because it's horses that were great race horses and then have went on now to establish themselves as great sires. And Lou is one of them. So we wanted to see him, and you got to see that behind the scenes. And if you get to see him and spend time with Sweet Lou, it's worth it. One
of the great things I love about Diamond Creek, what they do, they put those the farm parades, they put them on. They don't put them on live, and have the tallies there collecting him. And there was like 100 people in the collection area, and I was like, oh, no, you can't do that. But he didn't care. He doesn't get stage fright, that's for sure.
Oh, no. Lou is one of those horses, and we actually have another horse, you might know him by the name of Carl, that's really camera-friendly as well. And when you get horses like that are just easy to be around, because a lot of studs can be a bit unruly and a bit, hard to handle. But Lou, he knows the whole gig, and it's like he was made for his job.
You mentioned Carl there before, the Hambletonian just run the other day. For starters, looked like he was cruelled by weather. That looked absolutely horrible. But you must love those really big days when everyone is switched on as well. And, I feel a little bit for the organisers because, they still did the presentations, but there's no way knowing everyone was happy. But it must be great to see those good horses on those big days.
We're so blessed. We hit the road on Sunday after the finals, and we go out all week, Monday, Tuesday, and we try to cover each of the finals and finalists and go to each of the trainers, and we do pieces, and we did actually. So if you can always go back and catch that on our US Trotting YouTube, or of course our Facebook where they live, and then we did our Hambletonian contenders. And so Excuse me. So we do get to go behind the scenes and see that. But yeah, so it's a cool week to be a part of and to be able to go out there and meet those horses, see everyone. And of course, Hambletonian Day was really, really hot, and then it got really, really wet. We were like glad that we salvaged the day, but it was super cool. And Carl showed that he's the champion that we all think he is.
He is amazing. Nancy Tactor, an amazing trainer as well. What she was doing with Tactical Approach, because he's going to stand in Australia. He's actually, he might be on the Big Bird already. I think they've left. I think they're about to land in Australia, so not far off anyway. But it'll be his first time, and just a mighty achievement. She hadn't been able to do it, and then she's done it 2 years in a row.
Well, was this going to be a tactical landing? This was something we talked about last year when Carl was 2, and I think Nancy knew when you have a horse that special, and she knew all the way back last year as we spoke earlier that week. She's like, Wendy, I told you in 2023 we'd be standing here in 2024, and she knew. But the cool thing about Nancy is she's kind of making her own legacy, right? And it ties into today. Of course, we're having the Bernie Kelly Memorial race here for the ladies in honor of Bernie Kelly, and I didn't know Bernie personally, but I heard that she was a tremendous lady, and it's cool that they're able to do that. But yeah, being back there, Nancy's done great work with Carl, and I think Nancy got a lot more coming her way for sure.
She didn't worry. She didn't know it was wet. That's for sure. I saw the celebrations.
No, it wasn't. And Yannick, I got to interview Yannick, because I've interviewed, goodness, it seems like 100 and some times now over the years, and I touched on seeing his children there in the winner's circle, the tears they had in their eyes as they walked in, and Yannick he's an emotional guy, right? He really was. From what we saw when he got into the Hall of Fame, and then interviewing him the other day, that win of all the wins, that meant a lot to him.
There was a footage of him. I don't think the presentation had actually started. He was just standing there staring at his wife, and then he just started crying. You could see it was raw. There was nothing actually being said, and it just broke him up.
Yeah, I think because going in, everyone's like, this is the one race. He had won, I think, 5 or 6 Oaks for Jimmy Tactor, and that was the one race that he hadn't won. So now, fine, it's the monkey's off his back. Now he can go on and hopefully on to a couple more that he can put in his case.
Well, I will let you go, because we might catch up later. I think I could talk to you for a long time. We might have to sit down one day and have a little bit of a chat about it. But do you enjoy the amount of Aussies and Kiwis that are coming over here, and are they well received? And I mean that in a nice way, because I think sometimes people see, like Mexicans, doesn't matter where you come from, people coming from a different country and coming in. But it seems like from afar, anyway, you guys seem to embrace them, even though they are on the big stage, and taking some of the good money back.
Well, I think, you guys have been, as we used the term earlier, game changers. I think going all the way back, when Brett Pelling was there 25 years ago, and then of course you got Noel Daly, Nifty Norman, who have all kind of came out and did their own thing and have showed how great that you guys are from down under. And now the drivers have come over, and really they're another ones. They changed the game, right? The way they can just the finesse, the way they've gotten things out of horses, they've taken their down under style and brought it to the U.S. And I think from the training and driving aspect, they've said, hey, we're here, and they've showed it.
They definitely seem to have embraced your culture, though, again, one of my frustrations, a few people don't want to be interviewed, don't want to be promoted. From what I see from afar, those guys, but even most of the people that are the game changers, if you like, in the industry, understand we've got to promote it, and we've got to embrace what we've got.
Yeah, and I hope you could tell those guys that too. Some of we want to put cameras on the bikes in the race. A lot of the trainers are like, no, we don't want to do it, because they're superstitious and whatnot. But I think the biggest thing is, we got to talk about our product. You have to promote it, and I think the people that get it really get it, and they help us as much as they can, and we are lucky. Especially those top 10 or 15 guys, they get it, and they know that when the mic comes, they need to be there to tell the fans and, tell the people watching what they want to hear.
I know a few of them, and I sent Timmy Tetrick a message one day about doing an interview, and he was busy. It was starting at that busy time, but he still gets it, and he just gives the time up, and we do it.
Well, Tim really gets it. Him and his wife set up Tetrick Racing, and then they've grown it, to thousands. I think they're up to 60, 70,000 followers now on Facebook. Timmy really gets it. They've I like to say Tetrick Racing set the standard, and now other drivers have followed for sure. But Timmy, we've had Tim down slides at county fairs, riding on golf carts. He's did the match race with Charles Oliveira. Tim is always available for us, and sometimes I feel it's like, hey, we need him to do it. Hey, Tim will do it, and he's been great, and he gets it too. He knows how to promote the sport, and he has been such a key. Him and his wife both for Tetrick Racing have been such a key part of doing that.
Thank you. Thanks for the chat.
Thank you.
The racing's about to start. The boys are out looking at the mobile. Doesn't the mobile look swish? I can't wait for the lights to come on.
Just to say about the track, when you get here, you're a little worried, right? Because this is a thoroughbred track. It's a dirt, like a clay synthetic track of some sand that they have out here. And it looked great, but now starting car just went by it at about 65, so I don't think we're going to have any trouble today.
I was worried when I first came. It looked like a pool of what, but they just rolled it and rolled it and rolled it. And it looks smick now. It
does, and I think it's going to set up for a great day of racing. And we're just glad from U.S. Trotting, and thank you to the Sweet Lou Syndicate for sending us and letting us be here today.
Yeah, and also the Vincent Delaney Memorial, everyone that's working behind the scenes, because they've made us all feel so welcome.
Oh, yeah, the Delaney family, I mean, they're people said when you meet them and you're around them, they do kind of like draw you in, and they certainly have done that. And we're lucky to be here. Derek said, thank you so much for being here. I was like, no, Derek, you guys have put on a great event, and we're the ones lucky to be here with you.
Absolutely. Wendy, thank you. The US Trotting Association is the best one on Facebook. Any of those on YouTube, and give yourself a plug. I don't care.
Yeah, so US Trotting is on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and then Harness Racing. And YouTube, of course, is for US Trotting, and then we have harnessracing.com, which was recently Harness Racing Fan Zone. That's transitioned now to harnessracing.com, and that's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And of course, you can go to harnessracing.com. Quick, I want to say that's the website we've set up to kind of bring the new fan into harness racing for people like, what's harness racing? This is set up to attract that new fan that doesn't really know, that wants to learn about owning, betting, where the racetracks at, big events in the sport. So it's kind of set up for that new fan that we want to draw into harness racing. And we set it up the end of June, and we've had over 10,000 followers, and it's viewed in over 25 countries. So we're proud of that, and we hope that just continues to grow.
It'd be nice if we did a harness racing page or site for everyone in the world, so people can be aware of these and pay, do what I mean? Yeah. And New Zealand Cup Carnival, we were talking about that before. Handball, that would be a lot of fun. Be a lot of work, though.
The opportunities are endless, I think. But for us, those are our platforms. And, check it out. We got stuff on there you probably didn't even know about. And we just try to put out as much content as we can to promote the sport, do new things, continue to keep growing for the sport, and technology as best as we can. That's really what we strive to do.
Wendy, thank you.
Thank you.
As I said, next time we're getting chairs, because I reckon we could go way, way, way long. But thank you very much, and have a great weekend.
Thank you.